Change your diet, change your life, change the planet.
Today's conversation? Competition. Yeah, that's kind of a controversial area in the raw, alternative, spiritual, New Age world. And I myself am often attacked or criticized by people that say that I shouldn't compete, that it's all about love, it's all about acceptance, it's all about embracing people, and that this whole racing thing, the competition, trying to win, it doesn't fit. How can you be compassionate when you're competing with people, when you're trying to beat them or dominate them? Personally, I think competition is very, very healthy. And here's why. To me, competition is a conversation. It's not about dominating other people. It's not about beating other people. It's not about proving your superiority. It's quite the opposite. A competition is a conversation that you have with yourself and with others. A very deep conversation, and an often intense and painful conversation. It's not an easy one at all. When I am in a race, I am testing myself. I'm pushing myself to the limit, right to the limit, to the edge, to see who I am at the edge. Because I know who I am when I'm comfortable. When things are easy, I know who I am. But is that really who I am? Or is that just me on a good day? Am I a fair weather friend, or am I a friend no matter what? Do I care about you when I'm feeling good, or do I care about you no matter what's happening? Can I count on myself to have the same character no matter what is going on in my life? And this is the conversation that I have when I race. Who am I when the sheep hits the fan? Am I still a good person? Am I still kind? Am I still compassionate? Am I still understanding? Do I still do my best? Do I still play by the rules, or do I cheat? Do I quit? Do I give up? Do I come up with excuses? Or do I find new ways to move through the pain? Do I look at the pain, or do I look away from the pain? It's a really intense conversation, and the end result is that I grow. I learn about me. I learn about who I am under fire. And I also learn a lot about the people that I'm competing with, not against, but with. Because I know they're going through the same thing. They're suffering just as much as I am. They're dealing with that pain. They are facing the pain. They faced it in training, and now they're facing it at an even more intense level in the race. And I respect them for that. And I feel related to them in that experience. And that is the conversation for me. When the race is over, we're friends. We talk, we share war stories, we talk about what we learned, we talk about what worked, what didn't work, we talk about our strengths, we talk about our weaknesses, because they all come up. All that stuff that we're afraid to face, all those conversations that can lead us towards growth, a race will force you to have them. With yourself and with other people. And they're not always a verbal conversation. Sometimes it's a physical, emotional conversation. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people in the race who are there to dominate and to win and to make others feel bad or make themselves feel good and haha, look at you and I just kicked your butt. Yeah, there is that. But I don't think that's a strong choice, because they're really not learning anything about themselves, nor are they learning anything about the people that they're in a race with. They're simply playing out some story in their head about their own fears and insecurities, and their need to dominate is just an expression of that insecurity, rather than, okay, I'm scared, I'm insecure, I feel less than. Let's take a look at that. Let's really get in there. Let's stretch the envelope and see what happens. Who do we become? Who are we? If you look at the Latin roots for the word compete, you have com, C-O-M, which means together, and then you have petere, which means to strive or agree. So the word compete does not mean dominate or beat. The word compete actually means to strive together or to come to agreement together. Competition, to petition together. That's what a race is for me. Now, this sense of competition or striving together applies to more than just racing and athletics. It also applies to conversations that take place about ideas and about diets and about many other things, ideologies and whatnot, belief systems. But competing or striving together about an ideology, well, that's off limits. We can't go there. And I think that's really problematic and potentially very dangerous, because what ends up happening is that people believe first and test later. Or maybe they just believe it 100% and never question it or never test it. They just pull it on, they say this is correct, but they don't know because they never looked under the hood. And they'll tell other people they're wrong. They'll have all these reasons why you're wrong and I'm right, but those reasons aren't theirs. They're parroting something that they heard from someone else, but without testing it. So they don't really know if it's the best choice for them. They don't really know if it's the best choice for their community, and they don't really know if it fits with the data and the understanding that we have as a society. So I think that we need to have more competition around ideology, around belief systems, whether they be related to diet or otherwise. But for some reason, there's this big taboo of going there. Oh, it's a belief system, we can't touch it. I can face you in combat, I can face you on the starting line of a race, but ooh, I can't face you when it comes to your belief systems. Why not? Why can't we have that same conversation? Why can't we strive together around our belief systems? Why can't I challenge you? Why can't I go to the limits of who I am within my belief systems and stretch them, and do so as you're doing it right next to me? It's going to be uncomfortable, but so is racing. Physical endeavor is uncomfortable, and so should this be. It should not be an easy process. If you're having a conversation with your friends, peers, family, lover, whomever it may be, and there is no discomfort, you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're all sitting around just talking about the same idea and everybody's in agreement and everybody's like, wow, this is great, yeah, we've got the best idea and we all agree, there's no growth there. So we need to challenge each other, not to make each other wrong, but to see what's there, to see who we are, to see if these beliefs fit. We need to start testing them, and we need to start questioning them, and let's do it together in a competition. Not to see who's dominant, but so that we can all stretch and grow and learn. And yeah, it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and egos are going to get stepped on, and people's feelings are going to be hurt. But it's not really their feelings that you're hurting, it's their belief system that you're stretching, and for some reason our minds don't like that. Our minds don't like it when you stretch or pull on our belief systems or question them. For some reason we hold on and we cling to them and we fight for them, even if they don't serve us. You need to start gently. You can't just jump into a marathon and try to run a 5-minute mile pace. That's not going to work. You need to gradually build up your distance, and you need to gradually build up your speed. It's a muscle that you build. It's taken me almost 7 years now to get where I am physically. That's a long time. And the same thing will happen with these conversations, these competitions. We get in there, we talk about it, it's going to be ugly at first, there's going to be pain, there's going to be discomfort, there's going to be crying. But we're there to strive together, not to win, but to grow. So I'm going to make suggestions in my videos. I'm going to bring up points that are uncomfortable. I'm going to challenge you. And I'm also challenging myself. That is my commitment. That is why I race. To challenge myself, to stretch myself. And sometimes it's ugly. And sometimes what shows up through those cracks as those belief systems start to tear, or as my limits start to tear, sometimes the stuff that leaks out is nasty and I don't like it, and you don't either. That's part of the process. We've got to get rid of this idea that we have to be perfect and that everything that we say or do has to be perfect and full of bliss and full of love and full of acceptance and full of happiness. That's just not the way the world works. There is a balance. And sometimes you got to go through the ugly stuff to get to the good stuff. Sometimes you got to go through the pain to get to the feeling of strength and power. And not a power to dominate, but a power to move through the world with less effort. The more power you have, the more gentle you become. And the more power that we create together in conversation by testing our belief systems, by questioning our belief systems together, the more power we will all have to affect change in this world. So I challenge you to a competition of conversation. Let's get in there. Let's talk about it. Let's bring it up. Let's not call each other names. Let's not yell at each other. Let's talk about the issues. Let's test them. Let's work on this together. Okay?